All right, what's up, guys? So, yeah, I wanted to talk on add my 2 cents to this tweet. Shout out to Dexter too. But anyways, so yeah, it goes on to say XQC has blamed Arc Raiders missing a nomination for Game of the Year on the AI controversy. The game, and so this is, I guess, what he said. The Game Awards are trying to avoid alienating their viewer base. Ironically, they are alienating those who care about the integrity of the show. So yeah, overall, I guess Arc Raiders has like some AI stuff in there, but I'm like, fam, there's a game that I actually just played where I think that's how they do that. So it captures your voice, and I guess you can use have it where your voice is played throughout the game. But it's this new fighting game, pretty good game too. I judo flipped a bear playing that game, but it's this new game called Where Winds Meet. And that's the thing. Like, I don't care for a video game having AI stuff in it and stuff, whether it's AI art. Because like you have it where people. The thing is this: there are people out there where so like if there's a normal artist and then there's like the AI stuff and things. Because I know I've used some AI stuff from time to time. But anyways, you'll have it where there's people out there that'll be trying to charge you a crazy amount of money for some stuff, and it's like, fam, I could go out and get this, or at least do it myself and for a cheaper price and things. Like, why are you charging so much? So yeah, I think like in this day and age, like you do have some people where they want to take advantage of people's pockets and stuff. And I'm like, I'm not with that. So that's one thing that I will say is that, yeah, if you trying to save up on money and all that, and then you could use some AI art or some form of AI technology to furthermore develop your game. I don't see nothing wrong with that. So that's one thing that I will defend on Arc Raiders. But I will say that the reason why, and I talked on this not too long ago, the reason why that this game didn't get nominated for a Game of the Year is because, for one, it's a little bit too late in the year for it to be nominated for Game of the Year. I guess if they're talking on next year, I think it's a Game Awards show or something like that. But anyways, but yeah, the Game Awards and stuff. But yeah, next year then it will possibly get a nomination. But for now, it's like, yeah, no, it's a little bit too late. Like there's a deadline that you have to meet to get your game nominated for an award and stuff. But yeah, it's like at the last minute. It's like if that's the case, a game can came out the same day the Game Awards airs, and it could get nominated. But it's like, yeah, it's like that. It's too late. I'm like, there's all these other games that came out this year, and we don't even know too much about this game. And Arc Raiders, what, that game came out like 2-3 weeks ago. How are we supposed to know what the future is like for this game? So you can nominate this Game of the Year and stuff, but is this going to be a game that people are going to be playing next year or the year after that, the year after? It ain't like games where I guess like let's just see some games that got nominated. Game of the Year winners. Let's just see. So Astrobot, that's a game where it's like, yeah, you'll see where they can play that years to come and stuff. Baldur's Gate 3, that's another game. Yeah, that game came out 2 years ago, and that's a game I still see people play. Same with Elden Ring. People still play that game. They've then came out with some other games like It Takes Two, because there was like split faction or fiction or something like that, where it's like, yeah, that's another one of those games where it's like, yeah, games like that you'll see get nominated because it's a game where it's like a lot of people. And I guess, yeah, with whatchamacallit, Arc Raiders, a lot of people are playing it and stuff. But is it a game where it's like you'll see people playing it like years down the road and stuff? Like, is this going to be the next Fortnite, Call of Duty, stuff like that? But yeah, It Takes Two. I haven't seen people play it so much now because of that they like split fiction or faction or something like that. But The Last of Us, or Part Two, I should say, that's a game where you still see people play it. Sekiro, Shadow Dice, I think that's how you pronounce that word. That's a game I still see people playing. God of War, that's a game that I still play. I'm like, God of War is one of those games where it's like, I think it's always going to be good. Anybody that got a Nintendo Switch, they're going to be playing Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. Don't really see too many people playing Overwatch and stuff, but The Witcher 3, like those are games where it's like, okay, like you can see like 10 or however many years down the road, people are still going to be playing those games. Arc Raiders, on the other hand, and that's the thing too, where it's like them games that I named off, it's like they have a lot of different things. Like even if we just use Elden Ring as an example, Elden Ring is not one of my favorite games, but let's just use it as an example. Let's compare both games because for the most part, The Arc Raiders, it's a shooting game where you go and an extraction shooter game and stuff. So yeah, you go in there, grab wherever you need to grab, get up out of there. They got a bunch of different things that you can extract out with, but overall though, it's like eventually the gameplay gets boring, it gets tiring. Versus games like Elden Ring, where it's like you have to build a strategy on how to take out whatever boss that you done came across in the game. So that's a game where you can see somebody dump hours upon hours. And it's like, yeah, and it's messed up how they have that set up too, where it's like you dump hours into that game because it's like, oh, I'm trying to figure out what strategy. But I feel like a game like that, if it was a toss up between playing Arc Raiders and Elden Ring, I know that after I go up against the first boss that there's going to be other bosses and just different areas that I can explore in the game and stuff. Arc Raiders on the other hand, it's like you're being timed in an extraction shooter and stuff, and it's one of those, like, it's one of those online games where it's like you can't come back to it and like pause and do any of that other stuff. And I'm not saying that they need to add that, some like offline extraction stuff, but I think that if they want Arc Raiders to be a long lasting game, you're gonna have to do more than just extraction, having an extraction shooter mode in the game, because eventually that trend's gonna die off, just like battle royale, racing, and I'm trying to think of some other genres out there where it's like we at one point in time we're seeing a lot of games coming out, because yeah, like back in the early 2000s, we seen games like Need for Speed, Gran Turismo, Midnight Club, stuff like that, where I'm like, that was the trend. And then that trend kind of died off. Now you just kind of see where it's like people, they just carry on with that trend because they I guess, like, yeah, they just a fan of it and stuff. But as far as like, oh, it's the everybody's coming out with a new racing game, yeah, you don't really see people doing stuff like that and things. But trying to think, and then yeah, like battle royale games, you've seen it where PUBG, Fortnite, what else, but it's like, yeah, PUBG, they're having to come out with a new game because it's like people ain't really playing the original game like that. It probably is still some people, but Fortnite, and I every time when I talk on Arc Raiders, it's like I like to use Fortnite as an example because that's one game where it did start off with one mode, and then they added battle royale, then they added the creative stuff, and now they have it where you could create any old mode in the game and stuff, as long as you have one of them like map codes or yeah, something like that. I don't know, but anyways, yeah, it's one of those games where it's like they added more content, and that's why that people still playing this game till this day. And then if we switch all the way back to Elden Ring, all the different bosses that they have, and then all the different games that they came out with over the years, that's why that game is game of the year. That's why people still, you'll see where people be doing Elden Ring marathons and stuff, because that's a game where it's like, okay, I can play it for a long period of time. Arc Raiders, on the other hand, it's like, oh, I'm gonna play. So like, let's just say that there's two different types of streams where it's like one stream the players, or yeah, the gamer is all like, oh, I'm gonna play Arc Raiders until I win. It's a 50-50 chance whether or not you're going to win your next game and stuff. So, but or it's like, oh, I'm gonna extract. And I guess like you can play and do all the different missions and stuff, but it's like, oh, I'm not gonna stop playing the game until I take out this enemy or take out that enemy. Versus Elden Ring, you got, my thing is this, I guess, like for somebody that's a content creator, you'll get more content out of Elden Ring just because of the amount of let's just see something real quick. How many hours is Elden Ring? Let's see. So there's like the main story typically takes around 60 hours for players who do more than just the main story. An average of 100 to 110 is common. And then for like 100% completion is 140 hours. And then let's see, Arc Raiders. I really don't know how that game can have like a lot of hours, but there's like 40 hours, and then others reporting 100 hours. Then there's like a single session is about 15 to 25 minutes and stuff, because it's like, yeah, eventually the thing is this, you're gonna run out of ammo. See that, and I have to say, like, that's why games like that, where it's like there's downfalls to it more than, oh, it's like, oh, it's everybody is playing it, yeah, because everybody likes it. It's mainly the people that just are really a big fan of extraction shooters. But when you look at games like Arc Raiders, where it's like, okay, you done got into it with this robot that exists, you done wasted all your ammo, now you ain't got no choice but to extract. So it's like you gotta keep going back and forth trying to, and I don't think they have it set up where it's like, so let's say you're going up against one of them big giant spider robots or something, right? you get it down to a low enough health, but you run out of ammo. So you ain't got no choice but to, I guess, yeah, go around the map. But it's like you got to remember too, there's other robots trying to kill you. There's other players trying to kill you. So it's like, to me, it's like, I think I would rather sit down and try to figure out a strategy on taking out a boss in Elden Ring versus trying to take out a boss in Arc Raiders, because it's like you literally have it where the game talking on Arc Raiders, where it's like it's the game and players that's working against you versus just having it. It's just, to me, it's just a little bit less of a threat in Elden Ring. Like, no, yeah, the bosses in that game are mad difficult and stuff, but I think I have a better chance of going through that game than going through Arc Raiders, because it's like, what, by the time, and it seems like that with Elden Ring, it has like replay value. In Arc Raiders, it has replay value too. Like, don't get me wrong, it's definitely one of those games where you could keep playing it, over and over again, but eventually I just feel like it gets to a point where it's at least like there's a end to Elden Ring, and then you could come back and do whatever it is that you want to do to that game. But with Arc Raiders, I feel like it gets to a point where it's like, okay, I'm bored of this game. What other things is out there for me? So yeah, Arc Raiders is, here's the thing, I think once when they add different modes to the game, I think they can be, and it could be any modes, they, whether they want to add a story, whether they want to add PvE stuff, some co-op stuff where it's like you ain't even extracting, you're just going in there just trying to take out the different enemies and stuff. But yeah, it's like if they have it where there's more things to do than just an extraction stuff, then it's like, okay, at least with like Elden Ring, there's like a bunch of different bosses and weapons and stuff that you can collect in the game. And it's like, if you could actually keep that versus Arc Raiders, it's like, yeah, for, I guess, like for somebody that doesn't know about extraction shooters, when you die, you lose everything that you have. So it's like, yeah, and I've seen where some people where they're like, they said that, and I'm like, fam, the game shouldn't get played like that. But there's like, there was one of my friends that was playing the game, and they was like, yeah, they have to, they use the free loadouts because they don't want to lose their stuff. And I remember when I last played that game, I don't know, maybe it might have just been me not knowing what I was doing, but I remember I tried using the free loadout, and they was like, I didn't have enough space, or it was something about space, and I'm like, fam, it should just be a click of the button, use the free loadout, go on with the game. That's it. Like, I don't know why it has to. And with the free loadout, it's like they give you the bare minimum. It ain't like you get like this, like some good stuff, I guess, to go up against. Because yeah, with the stuff that they gave me, it wasn't like stuff where I can like take out the enemies and stuff. Like, yeah, maybe the small ones, but when there's like these big giant drone enemies chasing you down and stuff, yeah, I think I wasted all my ammo, and eventually was like having to, I think they do give you like a sidearm, but yeah, overall it wasn't enough, so that's why I'm like, yeah, it's like versus Elden Ring, it's like you can actually go around in that game, grind, find good gear, come back to a boss, and possibly might be able to take that boss out in a couple of hits and stuff. So but it's like, it ain't like that with Arc Raiders and things, and it's like, on top of that, like I said, on top of that, so yeah, let's say you do find good stuff, you go into this game, you come across that person that wants to camp out, take whatever it is that you found or that you already have, now that's all the stuff that you earned in the game gone. So that's why I'm like, yeah, bro. Arc Raiders is one of those games where it's, I think, not even so much as it not meeting the deadline. There's just a lot of stuff that they need to add into that game in order for it to be Game of the Year. I know there's going to be some people that don't like that, but it's facts. You look at any game that's been nominated Game of the Year, it's probably been rare occasions where it might have been that one game with one mode. But other than that, it's like most of the games that get nominated Game of the Year or even get put in that conversation of it being Game of the Year, it's games that usually have a lot of content. Arc Raiders, it's like, yeah, the thing is this, let's wait it out, because I'm like, it's too early to tell. Let's wait it out. Let's give it next year. Let's see exactly a year from now if people are still going to be playing Arc Raiders. And there probably is going to be, it's going to probably still have a strong fan base. But here's the thing though, there's been games that has existed throughout this world where they've had, and let's just see Elden Ring, but there's games that have existed throughout this world where a lot of people played them at one point in time, but then it got to a point where it's like, okay, like, what else are you gonna do? They don't do nothing. Next thing you know, it's like the game done fell off. But anyways, no, so okay, Elden Ring as a prime example. So there's 26,000 people playing the game right now. In a 24-hour peak, they reached up to 36,000 people. They reached an all-time peak 3.7 years ago with 953,000 people. Fam, they almost had 1 million people playing their game. That's just on Steam. This ain't talking about Xbox and PlayStation and all that stuff. So that's what I'm saying. Eventually, games do see their course because yeah, other games then came out and stuff. So that's the reason why I'm just saying this is because people they be so quick to jump up and defend the game, and it's like, fam, I want this to be a game where it's like a lot of people are playing it, not just, oh, I'm just playing it either to see what it is or to just get whatever gear they're trying to get 100% completion and stuff. But I'm pretty sure a lot of the people that have played Elden Ring, it's like, okay, I played it just to beat the bosses, go on with my day. But other than that, it's like, as far as like, trying to, yeah, because Elden Ring, that's one of those games where it's like you got to mentally prepare yourself before you start playing a game like that. So, but yeah, I want the best for Arc Raiders. I want this to be the next Fortnite. I want this to be the next game where it's like everybody is playing it, streaming it, and all that. I want it to be one of those games where so yeah, when I played this game, the last time I played it, I rage quit, said I'm never going to play the game, got my money back, and I'm like, okay, I'm good. But I want this to be a game where I put all that stuff aside and I'm like, they done added some stuff in this game where I'm curious. Like, I want to see what this game is about. I want to play this game again. As far as right now, I'm like, fam, the only reason why I think I will play this game again is if close friends of mine got it and they was like, oh yeah, let's play the game together. But as far as like playing the game by myself or whatever, no, don't see a need for it, because I'm like, I just know that the last time I played the game, that's going to be an everyday occurrence every time I'm playing the game. So no, I'm good. Maybe if they add more content, cool. But the thing is this, at the rate that it's going, if they're like, we ain't going, all we just gonna do is maybe slightly change the map, add like a new pistol or a new assault rifle where it's not gonna be enough to take out whatever enemies that exist in the game. And what else? Oh, maybe like a new hat or some pants. Yeah, no, I'm like, add some new game modes, something where I'm like, okay, I can actually get with this and stuff. But anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and peace.